Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Hey, welcome back, race fans. We're here again, back in time, this time with the Cup cars at North Wilkesboro here in North Carolina in 1987. Guys are out on the grid. Practice has started. So we have about 6 minutes remaining in today's practice. Take a look at what we got in store for tonight. Be the Wilder Graphix 160 here at North Wilkesboro. And some issues this evening with our graphics, but we'll work around that. This league is produced by One to Go Studios, as you saw in the lead-in, and sponsored by Wilder Graphix. If you're looking for a new paint for your race rig for the new season, check out Wilder Graphix at Facebook and take a ride on that wild side. These guys are getting kind of busy out here, looking at 160 laps around this 0.65, just under a 3/4 of a mile raceway here, Carolina. A couple of new drivers out here with me. Work some things out. Working their graphics out. LSRL, Wilder Graphix 160 at North Wilkesboro Speedway, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. 1 minute, 40 seconds left in the final practice, and the cars will then red out and start their 2-lap qualifier to set tonight's grid. We have 20 racers on the raceway for this 160-lap race. Competition yellows at 40 and 85 tonight. 40 and 85. Nice weather by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. You're looking for a vacation, check them out. Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. Wilder Graphix 160, partly cloudy, air temp 78, track temp 98. A little on the warm sides. The cars will be a little slick. Winds are just slightly at the north at 2 miles per hour. Tonight's first lap will be presented by Sim Speed Shops. Sim Speed Shops specializes in custom sim racing hardware. Sim Speed Shops manufactures sim racing hardware utilizing the best components available, as well as mixing in real-life racing components when available. Customize your hardware and rig today. Check out Sim Speed Shop at www.simspeedshop.com. Rolling out practice here. We are finished with practice. Guys, we'll start to qualify here. While they're qualifying, let's hear from another one of our sponsors. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing with the Butt Kicker. Use LSRL for 20% off at the Butt Kicker site.
Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at www.thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use promo code LSRL for 20% off.
Or you use that code LSRL over at the buttkickers.com website. Get yours today. Help you get in touch with the feel of the car from the seat of the pants feel that we all miss in these stationary rigs. See the blimp flying overhead of the North Wilkesboro 1987 track here as we see the grandstands are starting to fill in. Pit stops will be very busy. Tight pit stops tonight. 3 minutes remaining in the qualification. See if we can jump on board with one of these race car drivers as they take the raceway. Brandon Hughes here. Last lap was an 18.819, right? Overall. You can put in the next lap, see how he does. Coming around to the flag for his second completed lap. 18.719 moves him up to the 7th spot. We got Brandon Thornhill out here in the 68 machine. 18.876 puts him in the 13th spot. 2 minutes remaining. Got Eric Casper out in that number 88 ride, that Mountain Dew amp machine. Last lap at 18.864. $18.806 for Casper's second lap, moving him up to the 10th spot. Cameron Hearn on the track at second spot. Has 1 minute remaining here. Thirty seconds remaining in final qualification. Wilder Graphix racing event, Wilder Graphix Cup cars today. Looks like we've wrapped up. Tonight's pole award will go out to Samuel Fontaine, who'll be receiving a Sweatless racing cap, all cap from Sweatless. Check them out right now. All right, check out the guys at Sweatless. If you want some active wear that will prevent you from sweating with moisture wicking and bacteria prevention. So check those guys out. They're going to be sending that cap off to Samuel Fontaine. So these are inside pole 22 there on row 1. Outside him, Cameron Hearn in that 15 car. Derek Garrison will be in the number 1 in row number 2, and inside Rye Jones outside in 7th. In the 7 machine, that's Anthony Giuliano in the 17 will be inside row 3. Outside of him is Mitchell Reeves in the 02. Inside row 4, Landon Quisenberry in the 75. Outside him, Brandon Hughes in the 111 machine. Go off to row number 5, Sean Huffstubble in the 94. Eric Casper on the outside on the 88. Mike Aiello in the 74 will be inside of 6, and outside him, Ira Kohlhaas in the 29. Inside row 7, Matthew Johnson in the 61. Brandon Thornhill on the outside of 7 and 68 machine. Matthew Tilder will be in that number 2 car in the 15th spot. Craig Holt on the outside of row number 8. Row number 9, the 17th spot with Harrison Chandler in the 193. Jeff Converse in the 18th position in the 96. Leonard Frost will be in the inside of row number 10 in the 11 machine, and Andy Berganti in the 13 will be on the outside of row 10 in the back of the field as we're about ready to go green. Here we are off, guys. Start here, Samuel Fontaine. Cameron Hearn. Those guys, 1-2 as they rip around to the complete number 1, which is provided to you by Sim Speed Shops, providing lap number 1 coverage. Check them out at simspeedshop.com. Inside, still race leaders at number 22 car of Samuel Fontaine. There's your leaderboard on your left-hand side there. The 15th goes low, has the fastest lap of the race recorded. And he is going to sit back in the second spot and wait to see what the number 1 car does on his inside as Derek Garrison now entering the fray. The first 5 cars, single file as we go to the flag. 3 laps down of the 160. Competition caution will be at 40. As that number 1 machine of Derek Garrison will be in the 3rd spot as we see a change position here for the lead car. Brendan Hughes now putting up the fastest lap of the 1-1-1. 1, 2, 3, single file to the turn number 1, the 22 high to 15 looking low. And then number 1 along the bottom trying to get involved in there too. There you go, 2 wide. Turn number 1, the 15 under the 22, the 1 now looking in the middle side. There's that 22, 15, and the number 1 car. They're all content to drive single file, looking for opportunities to pass. Turn 1 as we completed lap number 6. Rye Jones looking underneath Chandler, or underneath Garrison there on the inside, going up to the flag. See, the 7 was able to get in front of that number 1 machine. No, not yet. 7 diving underneath the 1 there as he enters turn 1 and 2 low, and in the back stretch they go. Give the advantage to the 1 car entering 3 and 4. As the 7 still working that low side, the 1 on the high side. The leaders are single file as we go back into turn 1 and 2 at the completion of lap number 8. That competition yellow will be coming out at lap 40 at the end of lap 40. The 7 and the 1 battling side by side as we continue to go through laps 3 and 4 back to the flag stand to complete lap number 9. This is one heck of a battle going on between the 7 and the 1 machine. Rye Jones and Derek Garrison. As Rye Jones decides to go looking to the high side now and lets Garrison get back down to the bottom. Right behind them is Mitchell Reeves and that 0-2 machine. In the 5th spot is Mitchell Reeves. And at the completion of 10, this is our running order. Samuel Fontaine, Cameron Hearn, Garrison, Jones, and Mitchell Reeves for the Wilder Graphix 160. This is top 5 has been presented by Sim Speed Shops, the Butt Kicker 2. Feel what you've been missing. Field leaders up there, 1 through 5, just all content with riding together. Drone cam coverage, looking down on that 3rd place car, or the 4th place car of the number 7 machine, the 0-2, and now Anthony Giuliano coming up from the inside, from the back of the field up to the 6th spot. Anthony did start in the 6th position, so I take that back. 14 laps have been completed. Everyone's on the same pit strategy thus far. Be interesting to see how these guys work that first caution. That's the Sweatless 17 in the Wilder Graphix paint. Let's go back up to the front with Fontaine now in the 2nd spot with Cameron Hearn now up by himself, just stretching out his lead 1.1 seconds ahead of the field. Just stretching that out. 16 laps have been completed. Cameron looks very comfortable getting around this racetrack with no one around him. Now we got Garrison attacking Fontaine on the outside. We have the 22 and the number 1 with Rye Jones all battling for the 2nd spot. There's your battle on the left-hand side, the bottom part of the tower. One looks like now he's in the second spot, so we can pull back to Fontaine. We'll keep switching back and forth here. The number 1 has the slight edge. Into the backstretch, the 1 has the edge on the 22 as the 22 has the momentum off. We're going to keep switching back and forth here. We're going to keep watching that thing flip around. 1 slides in front of the 22. 22 looking for a crossover move. 19 laps have been completed. 22 on the inside, the 1 on the high. That side looks to have been more dominant, but the 22 making it work on the low groove, and the number 1 car back to the 3rd spot. That's 2, 3, and 4 on your screen. And we have a new, looks like the 5th spot now, the 111 machine. See him getting around the 02. It's Hughes, Brandon Hughes in the 111 machine up to the 5th spot. Lots of action around the racetrack. We're trying to get it all to you. 21 laps complete as we hit the stripe here of 160. First caution will be in 20 more laps. Back there to Fontaine and Garrison with Rye Jones. 2, 3, and 4 together. Looks like a battle is coming back here in the back spot with a 94. 17 attacking. It looks like Landon Quisenberry at 75. So a 4-car battle here. From the 6th on back. So there's a 6th place car of Reeves with Hufstad in the 94 behind him. And Quisenberry, that 75 Wilder Graphix car. Now the 68 of Brandon Thornhill mixing it in as well. We're at 25 of 160. Cameron Hearn off to the front here. 2.5 second lead. As we look at our movers for tonight, because movers Thornhill up 4, Brigatti up 3, Hughes up 3. That's going to continue to change throughout the night. To Cameron Hearn, the yellow caution has come out. And we see Anthony Giuliano around, so see if we can back that up to see what was going on with his car. All right, we have it queued up here as we're watching Anthony Giuliano here. Right in here. The 94 comes down across the nose of the 17 machine. A lot of cars collected on this. Not good here. Caution is out on lap 28. Back to the live action. Check out if anybody is going down pits. There is 02 machine. 26 is going to be called a race incident by Johnny working at. So, rule of race incident, so we're going to be getting pits servicing here. And we did go 26 laps. Service is complete there. Now the lead is moved to Landon Quisenberry Ira Kohlhaas and Mike Aiello Jr. in the 75, 29, and the 74 cars did not elect to pit. Samuel Fontaine did pit and was able to squeeze in between these guys. And Frost and Johnson also did not pit. So the first car with fresh rubber is that 22 machine. As we get ready to go green in here. As you see the guys whipping by here. Turn racing under the inside line there. Camera jumping out, and you can see that there in that view. Getting our turn cameras in to work here. Go back to the action in the front here is Quisenberry Fontaine now up to second spot. Now Ira Kohlhaas takes that back. Fresh rubber on those 22 is going to be helping him get around this raceway a lot faster than the rest of his competitors. But 75 is leading the way here. You do have that competition caution coming out at the end of lap 40, so 75 looking to hang on. 22 looking to the high side. The 75 stays low. The 22 back to commanding the lead. Fresh set of tires. 75 and the 29 are in between him and the 1. Also, Derek Garrison has a fresh set of Goodyear Eagles as well. .22, 8/10 over the rest of the field. And now Quisenberry has yielded to Garrison. So Garrison now setting his sights on the leader. 22 in that first spot. Garrison in 1 machine is second. And now Cameron Hearn has made his way up to third. So 1, 2, and 3 all have fresh tires. And 37 lap tires on those other guys that were in the mix that were leading the race here. That would be the Landon Quisenberry and Ira Kohlhaas. So we're completing lap 37. Working lap 38, 3 laps till competition caution comes out. There's your race leader, Samuel Fontaine. Eric Garrison second. Cameron Hearn in the third spot as he's starting to get closer and closer to that number 1 machine. And we're working lap 39, now lap 40. So at the end of this lap, when the 22 crosses the line, we will have our competition caution come out. Lap 40 is now in the books. The yellow has come out. Your track time entertainment race recap of the Wilder Graphix 160. Samuel Fontaine is your current race leader. We've had 2 cautions. 1 is competition for the 3 laps. Number of racers on the race grid is 19. The fastest lap was Brandon Hughes in the 111 at 18:6:35. Track Time Entertainment builds custom driving simulators for the virtual racing community. They manufacture their simulators in Texas using U.S. extruded aluminum. Visit Track Time Entertainment on Facebook for all your sim rig needs. A full lineup of their products, proudly made in the USA. Check out Track Time Entertainment. Eric Garrison decided that 14 laps was not enough to come down. We see a bunch of guys coming up a pit lane to try to get in front of that pace car. And your grid tonight was provided by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. Grid Finder is the home of online racing communities. Browse hundreds of leagues racing on all gaming platforms across every racing sim every day of the week across the globe. Browse through over 1,000 league racing on iRacing, Assetto Corsa, ACC, R Factor 2, F1 2020, and more. Looking for a commentator or a streamer for your racing broadcast or a designer for your next livery? Check out Grid Finder. They have all the talent in that one place. Grid Finder, find your place on the grid. We have yellow, the caution is still being paced by the pace car for this Wilder Graphix 160 at North Wilkesboro. Meister out on the pace car. We will be going green this time by. See the pace car coming through the backstretch. Be nice into the hills of North Wilkesboro. A nice day of racing. See the backstretch stands are full. All right, guys, we're gonna let you turn it up here. Back with our race leaders here. Cameron Hearn facing the field now. Was able to get around Derek Garrison on the restart. Hearn, your leader, 3/10 in the lead, and puts up the fastest lap of 18.616 to Cameron Hearn. Working lap 49 of 160. Top five: Cameron Hearn, Derek Garrison, Bry Jones, Brandon Hughes, and Samuel Fontaine. 50 of 160 in the books. There you go, run through the field while we have starting to spread out here. That is Cameron Hearn, your race leader, fastest lap. Derek Garrison now in the second spot, leading a small group of guys with Bry Jones in the third spot. Brandon Hughes in that 111 machine is in the fourth spot. Samuel Fontaine now the 22 in the fifth spot, as he's under attack from the 188 of Greg Holt, who is currently running in sixth. Ira Kohlhaas in that 29 machine is in the seventh spot. Mitchell Reeves in the 02 machine in the eighth position. Landon Quisenberry in that 75 machine is in the ninth spot. Anthony Giuliano in the 17 is being scored 10th, and Andrew Briganti in that 13 machine is being scored 11th. Mike Allen Jr. is in the 74 machine in 12th spot. Brandon Thornhill, the 13th position, 68 machine. Eric Casper is being shown in the 14th spot in the 88 Mountain Dew Amp machine. Jeff Converse in the 96 machine is being scored in the 15th spot. John Humpsteller in the 94 number 2 of Matthew Tiller going on his inside. He's being scored 17th. Leonard Frost, 18th, is a lap down. In the 11 car, Matthew Johnson in the 61 machine also being scored a lap down. And Harrison Chandler doesn't look like he had taken any, it has not taken a lap today. That was your field. We're back to the leader, Cameron Hearn, 3 seconds on Rye Jones. And you see him going out into turn 3 and 4, and they were just coming onto the backstretch. So that Plan B car is definitely on a rail coming through here. He can put it wherever he wants. Nobody in his front, nobody in his rear. He's got all the time in the world. He's just putting down some laps. Going to be the next competition. Caution at 85. Yeah, 85. So let's look for some action on the raceway. Looks like Brandon Hughes is putting a little bit of moves here on the number 7 machine. So let's keep an eye on these guys. Looking for the second spot. There's that 188 of Greg Holt now. Looking in the 4th spot to see if he can advance his position. So that 111 machine looking on the inside of 7 of Rye Jones, who was last week's winner at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 7, the 111, and the 188. Tight racing here from 2nd back to 8th. Looking low, looks like he jumped the curb slightly. This Rye Jones keeps the lead for the 2nd spot as the caution flag flies. We got Landon Quisenberry around. Let's see if we can see from his vantage point what happened on that yellow caution. There's a 75. A5 looking to go to the 1. Oh, he hits the curb into the wall. Collects a 74, 68, 88 to 13. Wow. That engine looks like it's gone. The Landon Quisenberry, there's a high banked, there's a very high curbing in turn 3 and 4. That Landon was actually hopped over, causing his car to jump like that. Tough break for the young man. Trying to see if they can fix that vehicle. There's Landon Quisenberry there. He scored in the 9 laps down. Race control also saying it was the 75 curb hop that he had. So Cameron Hearn, that's your first place car, as the field is now caught back up with him. 22 laps on his tires. He elects not to come down for servicing. Looks like Rye Jones, Mitchell Reeves, Derek Garrison, Eric Casper, Thornhill, Johnson, and Tilder all elected to come down pit lane. Let's see where they match up on the way out. But they've already come out for servicings. Back to the race leader. This race being produced by One to Go Studios. I'm Harold Darner. You can check us out either Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube. You can also check out Lightspeed Racing League on Facebook if you're looking for a new league to join. You can also need a new paint. Because, you know, participating in these leagues, man, you got to be looking good. So take a ride on the wild side. Let's hear from Wilder Graphix. if you guys looking for a new set of paint for your car, check them out on Facebook. As the pace car is going to dip in, Cameron is going to bring us to the flag. We're green. Here's race leader Cameron Hearn, 26 laps on his tires. Looks like that's not going to slow him down. He's already off to almost a 4/10 lead over the remainder of the field. Cameron Hearn, Brandon Hughes in that 111 machine now in the second spot. Ira Kohlhaas around as the caution comes out. We're going to try to back that up and see what we can see with Ira Kohlhaas. There's a restart here. Ira there. 7, a little tap. The 1, the 7. 29 to 7 again. 1 again, sorry. We'll see what race control says about this one, since that was working lap 70. Two now comes in for servicing. Samuel Fontaine trying to get off of pit cycling with the leader. Right, race control is giving me the information here. Number 7. Contact that was made with Kohlhaas. And just to remind everybody, the way they do things here at LSRL, all cautions are thrown by the iRacing computer itself. John does have the ability to throw the flag, but that would be only if something happened crazy that iRacing did not pick up. And so then once a caution has been scored, the drivers, they prefer to own up, as in basketball, raise the hand, which the 7 did. Rye Jones said he claimed that was his, and he will be issued an end-of-line penalty, so he'll go back to the end of the field, where he'll have to race his way back up to the front. Tonight, we have 7 sets of tires, 80% fuel in the tanks. We do have a little bit of change to the overall Cup car while we're here. And Joe Murata and Johnny Woolham sitting in the tower, high race control, sitting in my ear and helping us out to sort things out. The Xfinity race definitely needed like 2 or 3 people. I was happy to have Brandon Massey in the broadcast booth with me as well, so it's kind of neat to have a couple people to help out. Right now, though, it seems to be the Cameron Hearn show with that 15 machine in commanding position on the restarts here. And we're on lap 73. We'll be starting lap 74 here. And I believe 85 will be the next caution from competition. Once we're out on the pace car, we will be going green flag on this time by. As we'll ride on board with Cameron Hearn. 15 machine. The onboard camera being provided by Sweatless. You see Cameron Hearn accelerate right on off as he dives down into turn number 1. That 111 car is the number 2 position behind him. You can see the second, third in the rear view mirror. He's off. Already off to a 4/10 of a lead. You see that high banked curving, or the high stepped curb in turns 3 and 4. And if you look here at turns 1 and 2, it's nothing but grass. So you got grass on one side to grab your car and a huge bump on the inside of 3 and 4 that really upsets you, as we saw Quisenberry on that last caution. That is being on board with our race leader, Cameron Hearn, as he continues to work the field. 5/10 to the lead, back to the 111 machine of Brandon Hughes. who has the 188 and the number 1 machine of Garrison behind him. There's that battle again between 2 through 8. Ira Kohlhaas in the 9th spot. You see these guys here from 2 through now 5 pretty close to each other. Small gap to Samuel Fontaine in that 22 machine. Looks like Samuel Fontaine has the freshest set of tires in the top 10 currently. So lap 79 as we come to the stripe here. We'll be working lap 80. 6 more laps. The number 1 looking underneath the 188. The 188 powers off and comes back down. The 02, that would be Mitchell Reeves looking to work that high groove over the number 1 machine. The number 1 is content to sitting on the bottom right now, but the 02 making that work high, that mid to high. It's lap 81. And it looks like the 02 is able to do it. The 1 going back in a hurry as he's trying to work the bottom groove, and it's not working out for his car currently. As the 02 is there on his outside. Going into turn 1 and 2. Side by side, the 1 and the 02, that 188 sliding up in front. Race leader Cameron Hearns 1.6 seconds now ahead of the rest of the field. You see him in the stand as the 111 crosses. The 02 and the number 1 machine continue to do battle in turn 1 and 2. Back to the back stretch, side by side they go. The 02 has the power off of 1 and 2. Let's see if he can continue that, as it looks like the 1 closes back up on him in 3 and 4. A little bit loose on that 02 on his exit out of 4 as he's able to gather it up. Working lap 84. Back stretch. 111, 188, 02, and the number 1 machine all together. Throw a blanket on them, and then another group behind them, Samuel Fontaine, Giuliano, Kohlhaas, and Jones. As we're working lap 85, once our leader gets across the line here, the caution will wave for the second competition yellow. There should be coming out any second now. We're working lap 86, and the caution does come out. Here we are, the lot LSRL Wilder Graphix 160 North Wilkesboro Speedway, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Back in time in 1987, those that don't know, this track is no longer serviceable. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went out there and led an effort with iRacing to map the track and put it back in its configuration from 1987. So we get to see it as it was back then, with these cars from the future showing back up in 1986. Probably be pretty interesting for this crowd that's out here today. Your top 5 is going to probably roll around, so we're going to probably not do that right now. We'll go get that here in a minute. Weather provided by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com for the Wilder Graphix 160. Track temperatures 92s come down slightly, but still a little bit warm. We'll see as the afternoon progresses and the shadows get bigger if this will get cooler and allow for some more grip on the raceway. Your race summary provided by Track Time Entertainment. Samuel Fontaine is now being scored back into the race lead with a 17-lap stint on his tires. 5 cautions, 2 were competition for 19 laps. 19 drivers, and Cameron Hearn, the fastest racer in the 15 car, 18.616. Race control has said that was the last competition caution. We will be racing to the end, so we got another 70 laps per se left in the event. So the only person that stayed out on those tires was Samuel Fontaine in the 22 car. He has 18 laps on his tires. Everyone else fresh set of rubbers. We'll see how this works out for the 22 machine, who is definitely off cycle from the rest of the field. 160 is the mark to get to. We will have 2 green-white checker flag attempts if we need them. We did use one of them on Wednesday night. 90 laps in the books here. So 70 to go once 22 crosses that line. Pace car has turned the lights out. The guys will be coming back to the green. The 22 will bring the field to the green flag from the flag man. As we're working now lap 91. I believe these guys have more than enough fuel to get to the end. So we'll see how tires management goes through this set of green flags. You're looking at the field as they're stacked up in turn number 4. To 22 is the go, man. On the 22, he's off. The 111 on his outside. At 02 in the 3rd spot. 111 working the mid to high line. The 22 right along the bottom with the 02 machine. As we're 2 by 2, 3 or 4 through 7. Looks like the 1 is going below, and the 188 machine. It looked like Cameron Hearn was looking to the outside. Cameron Hearn to the outside. You try to keep an eye on him here as he's racing back up to the front. On the outside of the 188 machine, now bringing up to the 5th spot is Cameron Hearn at 22. Only one out of those 111. Whoa! Hold on to the car, and he did. But man, did he slide. Cameron Hearn, fastest car on the racetrack, the 02. A little bit of bumping and grinding there as we were 3 wide going into the turn. 188, 02 in the 15 car as we come up to turn number 4. A lot of close pack racing here. Short track racing at its finest. The man at 111 was sliding through the turn. Number 1 was able to grab it up, and no caution flew. That 15 is on a mission, though. He sees at number 22, and he wants to get there in a hurry. That 02 is looking to be a sandwich between the 188 and the 15 car. 02 with the 15 in tow, and the 188 looking down low. The 15 looking to the high groove. The 02 slides up in the fishtail of the 15. 15 and the 02, the 188. And there's your, or that number 2 is the 22 sees all this happening behind him. And there's that 111 machine now under attack by the 1 and Ride Jones of the 7 machine. There's that 15 car pushing the 02, letting him know he's there and he wants to get around. That's Cameron Hearn. Definitely a fast car. So was that 22 was up front. 22 was actually our pole sitter. And now they've caught the 22, so it's 4 cars battling for the lead with 6, 7, and 8. So the top 8 cars now looking 2 wide all the way back to 6th. Samuel Fontaine, your race leader, being scored. You can see the backstretch getting busy with them guys going 2 wide all the way through. There's the 02, the 188, the 02, the mid-groove. 188 down on the low side, back to the flag man, completion of 99. We're working lap 161 laps left to go. The 22, oh, smoke. The 7, it looked like he got it gathered up. I don't think a caution will come out, but the 7 was sliding through the corner there. 22 under attack by the 188 and Greg Holt. Does Greg Holt have enough to get down underneath them and stay there? It looks like that lap, the 22 prevailed. The 22 working that momentum off. With that 188 looking to slide underneath him as he can. 22 has the position. With the 15 right behind the 188. The 02 on the high side as they work the field here. Cameron Hearn being set back here in 4th. Doesn't have anywhere to go. Looking for an opening behind the 188. Looks like our 22, our race leader, got a little bit hot into the corner, out of the corner there, into the backstretch. The 188 and the 22, side by side, back to the front we go. Man, watching this race really close between Fontaine and Holt. Hearn and Reeves right behind him. In the catbird seat is Derek Garrison in the number 1 in the 5th spot. 188 down low, the 22 high. Give the nose to the 188. Can he keep it around here? Looks like he does. The 188, new race leader, Greg Holt. That number 15 down low, the 02 on the high side. as Cameron Hearn's looking to get up to the front position. He's now being registered in the third spot. At 188 down below the 22. He's making that low side work. 22 side by side in the race back to the stripe. The 188 maintains the lead. And Hearn is looking for an opening behind the 188. Tucked in right behind him, almost pushing him through the corners. One car length between a 15 and a 188. The 22 now mid to high line. Now he's battling with a 15 as the 15's down low. 15 and the 22 car now side by side. Looks like the 22 car is now being scored in the third spot behind Cameron Hearn. They're side by side. Coming off corner here, the 15 now in the second spot. Look at him working now the 188 machine. Here's your battle now, 1-2, with the first 7 cars all together. First 8 cars all together. That's Hearn, right there on the deck of the 188. 15 and the 188 now stretching their lead out. Almost a half a second to Fontaine in the 22 machine, which is working on those 37 lap tires starting to get tight. 188, 15. Right there on his inside, trying to find a way to muscle off the corner as the 15. Not able to get there on that corner. 188 still maintaining the lead. Backstretch we go, the 15 all over the back bumper of the 188. 15 looking to the high side, heard a little contact with the wall there. They were still green. And that 15 is all over the bumper to 188. Definitely trying to find a way to get around him here as working lap 110 of 160 at the stripe left, 50 laps to go. There's the 15 making that really low line work in the 188 up off the race groove by about a half a car length. 188, one in the 15 car now. Continuing your battle for the lead. We don't want to come off of here. Don't want to show you lose this position for you guys. I want you to see this happening. 15 right there on the rear bumper of that Camry, looking to go high. He may work the high side around him this time as the 188 down low. The 15 car looking high. Looking to cross underneath him now. Does he get it there? I believe he's on the inside. The 15 is on the inside of the 188. Not going to be able to power off, so he won't get the lead this time, but he's trying. And the 15 is definitely looking for somewhere to go. Not helping there. 188 definitely trying everything he can to maintain the lead in front of the 15, who's been the most dominant car tonight. You see it continue to work there. The 188 at 15 car. And that 188 has nothing but that big B in his rear view mirror. As they're now looking at 15, now looking maybe to the higher side to see if he could diamond down on the corner and get around off the corner. Did not work this lap. He's trying different lines to see if he can get a runoff, get underneath or over the top of the 188. Nothing's working right now. They both have 27 laps on their tires as we work lap 115, 45 laps to go. And people, just those of you that are watching us on Facebook Live, YouTube, or Twitch, you can text us through the channel here. If you're on the One to Go Studios, I'll see that. Let me know who you're pulling for, who's your favorite driver. As we see the 188 now off to a 2-car length to run at 15. As we're starting to catch up on lap cars, I'm wondering if this is what the strategy of the 15 is now, is to see what's going to happen with the lap car and maybe use that to his advantage. Over here in the drone cameras, we start to see the 74 2 is now in here as well as the 15 car. And he gave that little shove to the 188 and knew he needed to give that position back. So now Derek Garrison being shown as the race leader. Garrison on the high side, the 188 on the low side. The 188 looks like he has the momentum off the corner. There's Holt. There's Hearn, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Hearn back to the third spot after that contact being made with the 188 in the corner, coming off of 4. So working lap 123 of 160. The 188, the 1, the 15, the 111, and the 22, the top 5. Greg Holt, your race leader. Derek Garrison, the number 1 and 2nd. 15 of Hurd, the 22 of Fontaine, and the 111 of Brandon Hughes. As we're 125 of 160. $15 underneath the 1 of Garrison now. Put him back up into the 2nd spot as he goes to work now. Can't care as he looks at the back of Holt. He's inside of the 1. Behind side. 15 there. It's like that 1 car down way low in the corner there, holding the 15 down in the bottom. But that Mustang's trying to get around that Chevy, that number 1 car, so he can get back to racing the track the way he wants to race it. There's a second has progressed between Holt and these guys in the 15 and the 1. 28 of 160 into the backstretch. Side by side, the 15 and the 1 car battling for the 2nd spot. Harrison has the nose coming off turn number 1. Back to the backstretch of 15 now, slides up in front of the 1. Goes, sets his sights now on that 188 of Holt, who's 8/10 back. 42 laps on these tires, 59 for Samuel Fontaine. Come to the stripe here, we'll have 50 laps remaining in the event. Big green flag run here at 42 laps so far. 15, 188, 15's cut into that lead by 3/10. Let's run through the field as we have them stacked right now. Your race leader, Greg Holt, 188. 15 of Cameron Hearn right behind him. Derek Garrison in the 3rd position. Samuel Fontaine in the 4th, which he's got the Brandon Hughes 5th machine, the 111 right behind, right there with him. 29 of Kohlhaas in the Pepsi machine. Rye Jones in the 7 is in 7th. Anthony Giuliano in that 17 Sweatless machine in the 8th spot. Number 11 is Leonard Frost in the 9th. And is Mitchell Reeves in the 02. Matthew Tiller in the 2. Being scored 11th. 12th is Jeff Converse, the 96. 61 is Matthew Johnson. Eric Casper, 88, the Mountain Dew. And 1 lap down, Michael Aiello in the 74. And Andy Briganti in the 16th spot in the 13, being scored a lap down. Those are the entire field as we have an attack for the lead. As we're watching we're watching Hearn work Holt. Holt on the inside, the 15. Basically telling him, you remember me, I'm here. Garrison is in the 3rd spot. So your 1-2 right here. Closest race on the track. That was completion of 135. 25 laps remaining in the event. 25 to go. And Hearn. 2/10 between the two. You're watching this heat up here. Up to the blimp here and see if we can watch how the 2 lines are progressing. 188 entering mid down to the low side and staying there as Hearn works basically mid to mid high back to high off. Have to see the 2 different racing grooves. Hearn trying to find the momentum off of the corner. He's now side by side. He has the preferred line high. Can he get the pass completed here? They're side by side going back to the backstretch. Side by side, slight contact. 188 diving down to the white line. The 15 coming off the corner. Whoa, Nelly. Plan B15 there on the outside of the 188. The 188 taking him all the way to the wall. That 15 car continuing to battle it out. 15 looking high. There's Greg Holt. 15 is now on his inside bumper. There's 3 and 4. 15 on the 188. Completing 141 lap traffic coming into play again. That looks like Matthew Johnson, the 61 car, only a few car lengths ahead. Under 20 laps to go. Your race leader, Greg Holt. 15 of Hearn right behind him. That 61 taking the high line. 188 diving into the corner. 15 right behind him. Will come off that corner back to the stripe. This is 188, the 15. 61 now being scored a lap back. As the 88 of the Mountain Dew car is the next car that they lapped. Looks like Andy Bergani is in between the 188 and the 88 here. And the next car that will provide a little bit of traffic. As we're now working 145 of 160. .88 and that 15 to 15 closing the gap. Definitely can get in the corner quicker, but not being able to get off quicker. And 15 looking for the outside line, not going to get it there. A little bit of the grass is going to the backstretch. 188, the 15 closing in turn 3 and 4. 88 and the 15. 15 laps to go. 15, 188 all over the 15. 15 all over the 188. That lap car is on the inside line of the 13. You're going to have to try to get around him. 15 dives underneath the 13 to 188 there with him. Slides back up in front of the 13. Working 148 of 160. 15 to 188. 10 between the two cars. They continue to fight it out here at North Wilkesboro. And the 15 is back to the bumper again of the 188. As we're working 149 of 160. You see how close Greg Holt is getting under pursuit by Cameron Hearn. And you see how close he's getting to that rear camera that's on that 188 machine of Greg Holt. All right, 10 to go here. 10 laps remaining in the event. The 188 still in charge. 15 behind him, got a little squirrely off a lap off of turn 4 as they're starting to see the 88 come into the picture here. Lap traffic, or will be a lap car. 188, 15 to 88, in and out of existence there. It's a connection issue, it seems. A little bit high on the ping there for the number 88 car. Hopefully he'll get it settled in. As the 188 and the 15 are coming, but that 88 machine is blinking in and out here. 188, 15, 15 to the high, 188 low, the 88 in the way. We'll see what happens here. 15 on the inside of the 188, looking to dive, unable to get there. As they're back to the stripe here. 155, 6 laps remaining. 15 thought he had it there, was not able to complete the pass. All over the back deck of the 188, the 15. Now they've caught up lap traffic, the 88 and the 2 car now in front. 188, now the 2 car, the 88 under the 2. Now they've clogged up the traffic with 2 cars now. 188 and the 15 look to the low side. Seems like the lap traffic have moved over to let them have it. There's the 188, the 15 now looking to the slightly high, not able to get there. 5 laps to go, it'll be 4 at the stripe. Cameron Hearn looking high to try to get on the outside of the 188, inside of the 88, not gonna work. He needed the high side, the 88 was already there. 28, 15, 4 laps to go. 15 just can't get the corner off because of lap traffic. He's going to continue to try that. The 188 still on the inside. The 15, the middle of the high, middle group looking to go high. Just not able to get enough momentum off the corner. Maybe this time, since the 88 did give it up there. Well, little contact, the 15 and the 188. 3 laps to go. 2 at the stripe. Sticks in the air. 188, 15, 2 to go. 188 backstretch, 15 down. 2 laps to go. They come around here. The white flag is in the flagman's hand. Presented to the 188. One to go. Presented by One to Go Studios. We're on the final lap. Greg Holt down there on the low side. The 15 looking to the outside. Not going to make it there. Let's see what turn 3 and 4 is going to happen as we see Greg Holt holding on. Trying to finish this thing up. Off of turn 4. To the race. To the win. 188. Of Greg Holt, Hearn, Garrison, Fontaine, Hughes as we went green for that entire section after the competition caution. One heck of a race. Man, we're going to have to go take this off to one of the commercials while I grab some of these guys. Let's hear from Butt Kicker. Man, what a race.
Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at www.thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use promo code LSRL for 20% off.
And what a race. Results by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. LSRL, Wilder Graphix, wild ride for the Wilder Graphix 160. Your race winner was Greg Holt. Cameron Hearn second, Derek Garrison third, Samuel Fontaine fourth, Brandon Hughes the 111 fifth, Ira Kohlhaas will bring up 6th spot in the number 29, Rye Jones in the 7 and 7th spot, Anthony Giuliano 8th, Leonard Frost 9th, 10th was Jeff Converse, Mitchell Reeves 11th, Eric Casper 12th, Matthew Tilder 13th, 14th goes to Matthew Johnson, 15th Andy Bergani, Mike Aiello Jr., 74 Machine, 16th spot. Brandon Thornhill, 17th. Shane Hostetler, 18th. 19th goes to Landon Quisenberry. And 20th goes to Harrison Chandler. I'm not sure if he took any laps. It doesn't look like it. But that was your race results provided by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. And while we go to find our race podium guys, let's listen to our title sponsor, Wilder Graphix. right, take a ride on the wild side. Talk to Wilder Graphics. Get your paint made up like this one of Derek Garrison. We're going to catch up with Derek. Derek Garrison, Harold Darner in the booth, man. Third place in that Wilder Graphics paint scheme of the #1 machine. How are you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. Been better if we could have got the victory, but third's not too bad. So, yeah, I'm doing good.
And you guys put on a heck of a show tonight. You guys, a little bit of some cautions in the beginning, but man, after that last competition caution, all the way green flag. Can you give us a little bit of what was going on in strategy during that last run?
Yeah, I was hoping for no yellows because I want to get a good green flag run because I think that's where I was best at. But Greg and Kramer, man, they put on a good show up there.
It was definitely a one heck of a battle up front. Hey, while we have you, man, who are you gonna thank for this podium third place finish in the #1 machine tonight?
Got to thank Aftershock and y'all for the broadcast and LSRL for putting on a great league and great drivers in here also. So
Yeah,
this was everybody.
This was an amazing event. I mean, we had a little bit of growing pains on Wednesday night, but the drivers all got themselves situated and maybe a little bit more practice. But man, definitely a big show tonight. 19 cars on the racetrack. You know, you guys did a great job, man. And Derek, hopefully we'll get you back in here. We're going to Daytona next week.
All right, man. We see how it goes with that new package deal, right?
Yeah, we'll see how that works there. That was Derek Garrison, your third place driver for tonight's Wilder Graphix 160. Now moving on to Cameron Hearn, who had no doubt the fastest race car on the raceway. Cameron Hearn in the booth, Harold Darner at 15, Plan B sales, man. How you doing tonight?
Man, it was a tough race, a battle, but I was glad me and Greg was fast all night, and he did everything he could to keep me from getting around him. I tried everything, high, low, just couldn't get around him. So it was just awesome racing like that. I got into him one time and let him gather it back up, and we were able to kind of race it out. And probably one of the funnest races I've done all year.
It was definitely a good thing. We were on, you guys, when we saw that contact. You lifted out. The 188 was almost sideways coming out of turn 4. He gathered it up. It allowed the #1 of Garrison to come flying by you guys. I'm sure that didn't help out any.
It's tough to make a pass here, and he was on the outside. I mean, he was quick on the outside, and took me a few laps. Got around him, caught up to Greg, but at this track, catching somebody's one thing, passing's another. And I know I got into him one time pretty good, and I didn't want to do that again and kind of cost him a shot at the race. So just try to pass him clean, and wasn't able to get it done.
Oh yeah, but you guys definitely put on one heck of a show. I mean, man, it was really good. And like I said, we were here in the Xfinity cars, and I think the drivers took a lesson from what could go wrong, and everybody was pretty much minding their P's and Q's. You guys ran the whole second half of the race under green. I mean, you guys definitely are putting on a show out there.
Yeah, definitely a whole different race than we had earlier in this week. But these cars are fun to drive, and what's difficult with this setup is it's so easy to drive it in hard, and instead of getting tight, you get loose. So it's one of those things you think you have to drive it in harder to catch somebody, but you actually got to drive a little more easy on the throttle, a little bit easier on the brakes.
Yeah, and we saw that I showed a couple times in your in-car camera, showing the audience the difference. The 1 and 2's got the grass, and 3 and 4 has that high banked curve. Like the thing is like jutting out of the thing, and it bit the 75 in one of the corners coming off of 3 and 4. He got that left front wheel on there, and it shot him right to the outside wall.
Oh yeah, I think I got in the grass a couple times, and same thing. Like you get in the grass, it just gets you so loose. The opposite, if you hit that thing in turn 3 and 4, it'll shoot you straight up the track like you got no right front.
It was definitely a great watching you race, man. So who you want to thank, man? We see the Plan B's Wilder Graphics machine right here on center stage.
Yeah, Plan B, Wilder Graphics, you Harold for the broadcast. I appreciate it. Congrats on Greg on his win tonight. Really fun to race it out a short track like this and race relatively clean as we could. But he was up front all night, or came on strong. I don't know when he started, but he might have found something as the race went on, and that's one of the things that's important, kind of searching for stuff. And he definitely could run the low line better than anybody. I think in 3 and 4, and I think that was the difference. Shout out to Derek coming home third. He was fast all night, and just everybody in the league. Short tracker ran the last stage, caution free. Speaks volumes with the talent here. Give a shout to mom and dad watching, my wife, and just hope everybody has a good weekend and a good Easter Sunday.
All right, off to the big track of Daytona next week. We'll see you there. That was Derek. That was Cameron Hearn, the 15 machine. All right, 15 of Cameron Hearn. And we're going to get now with our race winner. That would be Greg Holt and that 188 machine right there on center screen. Greg Holt, you're in the booth with Harold. Their 188 machine was powerful all night. Can you walk us through those last laps? Because I know we just got talking with the 15, and we had you guys on center stage when that turn 3 and 4, he kind of gave you the, hey, dude, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I was just holding on, hoping that I didn't let him go by. That was it. I'm super. It was a super fun race, and Cameron raced me super clean. I appreciate that. I mean, little Robbins racing, he definitely, we got into me once, but he definitely backed out of it, let me gather it back up. I really appreciate that. That was definitely a crazy fun race. Crazy fun.
You guys were having a great time out there, though. Second half of the race, all green flag. Was that your strategy, that you think you guys were going to go green, or you were trying to think about getting, fuel? Well, fuel you shouldn't have needed, but maybe tires, or were you your strategy to take the whole thing?
Just ride it out. If it stayed green, just let it go. If there was a caution, we were going to go grab stickers. But yeah, I knew we were quick. We've ran here before, and at North Wilkesboro, and we've always done pretty good. You just try to keep it clean and no damage, and see if we could be at the front at the end. Luckily, I think we started that last long green flag stretch in front of Cameron. I don't know as if I'd have gotten around him if he started in front of me. So we'll take that one. How's that?
He was definitely fast. And then you guys came up in lap traffic at just the wrong time. The 2 and the 88 were fighting for positions, and you guys went 3 wide in one of the corners, and I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting.
There was a couple of laps of 3 wide, and I think we all touched and with the last corner we were 3 wide when we came off. It was go time, couple laps. There's a little less give in that. I get it. He's trying to. Obviously, I'm slowing up because I don't want to get wrecked out by a lap car, and he sees an opportunity to drive that thing in there and be like, hey, I can make it stick. I don't blame him. That was awesome.
It was definitely a lot of fun. We got you up here at the booth. This is your time to shine. Who are you going to thank?
I'd like to thank Lightspeed, Wilder Graphix. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. A shout out to Send It Racing here and Performance Sim Sports, the team that I'm on. Big shout out to all those guys. And I'd like to thank Cameron Hearn for running me so clean. That was one of the best races I've ran this year. At least one of the most fun. How's that?
All right, off to the high super speedway banking of the Daytona racetrack next Friday. And that was your race winner, Greg Holt, bringing home the checkered flag. We'll send him back into his group there, and we will recap with one more look at the results page. This is your top 10 from the Wilder Graphix 160. Presented by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Holt, Hearn, Garrison, Fontaine, Hughes, Holhaus, Jones, Giuliano, Frost, and Converse, your top 10. And the 11th position was Reeves, then Casper, Telder, Johnson, Bergani, Aiello, Thornhill, Hofstadler, Quisenberry. Those were your 19 cars that participated in the Wilder Graphix 160. I'm Harold Darner, One to Go Studios from North Wilkesboro back in 1987. We'll see you next week at Daytona with LSRL on Wednesday night, and with this group back on Friday night, 8:20, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. Until then, we'll see you in the next turn. What an exciting race brought to you by One to Go Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you